Yeah.
Perfect.
Hi, Pep.
Hi.
Can we start with team news? Sergio Aguero, has he trained today? And are you concerned at the moment with his fitness situation? Do you have to be ultra cautious?
No, I'm not concerned. He didn't train. Have a little bit disturbing in his knee. Nothing serious, but he didn't train.
Will you look to rotate for this game?
I'm thinking about it. Some players going to play, yeah, for sure. Didn't play the last game, but didn't play the previous game. So a lot of games, only I don't want to let them feel this is rotation. Every game is played because the best players for many circumstances, we believe, is for this specific game. And this happened so far.
Can I ask you about player welfare after the incident last night in the game between Arsenal and Wolves? What are your views on the situation with regards to concussion? Do we need to make a change in terms of bringing in concussion substitutes?
I would say, first of all, hopefully Raúl Jiménez and David Luiz find they are well. And I listened that Raúl Jiménez have an operation, so hopefully it's going to be well. This is for sure the most important thing, and of course the concussion in the head, you have to be careful. I don't know the protocols. Some of them say have to be merely out, some of them say no, so should be clear. But because in the head always is so dangerous. Yeah, hopefully it's going well.
You put 5 past Burnley on Saturday. How important is it to maintain that intensity of performance and take it into this game against Porto?
A different competition. Now we go there to secure the first place, the first position in the group stage. But the important thing is done for the fact that you are already qualified. But we play for maintain our rhythm and have a good feelings, not just for tomorrow in general, but of course the Premier League remains a priority in general terms. But like always we have done, so the play must be played in the best conditions as possible and doing a good game.
What's the Mike Mendy, please, guys?
Good afternoon, Pep. Will we see a less experienced team use of the academy tomorrow against Porto? Will some of the really younger players get a chance to play?
No. We have 19 players for the first squad fit, and all of them travel to Porto. It's a real difficult opponent, and we need the best players as possible.
And I know you've been asked a lot about him in the last couple of press conferences, but just to touch back on John Stones again and his recent impressive performances, what has he really worked on in training that has turned around his form and got him those impressive performances? You've worked on him to, I guess, and given him advice in coaching to get him back to playing in the first team.
Absolutely anything. So after 5 years seasons together, we know each other incredibly well. And John, it depends on him. We know that he's incredible. We know with incredible skills, and it depends on him to maintain this level. That of course he struggled the previous season for of course injuries. The players needs continuity, being fit. It doesn't matter if plays regularly or not. Being fit, training, and being ready. And John unfortunately could not for different reasons. And since the day one, he played against Wolves, the first game in the Premier League, without any friendly game before. He played excellent. Unfortunately, he was injured again. And since then, he struggled to come back because Ruben gave us a lot of stability. And but the last 2 games played good. And that's why we are delighted, especially for him, because he's a special guy, so sensitive. And I'm happy that all of us, I think all the backroom staff and the players are happy for his performance.
And go to Gideon Brooks, please, guys. Just remind any English journalists that want to ask a question to raise their hand because I can't see any at the moment. Thank you. Gideon?
Hi, Pep. You signed to be at City longer than any of your previous clubs. Have you had to think about how you keep up the pressure on players who maybe have become friends or got used to your methods?
The pressure, sorry?
To keep the pressure on players, to keep the pressure on them to perform when they've become used to your methods and your friendship.
But the old ones, they know, for the players, we are together for a long time. They know exactly what we are looking for. Little details change, but the rest is the same. And the new ones maybe need a little bit, but when they are intelligent and they read what happened, they will get it soon because it's not complicated at all. And the players, they love to play football and play with this staff, and we play with another staff, with this manager, with another manager. They love to play football, so that's why it's not a problem, this situation.
Paul Hurst, please, guys.
Hiya, Pep. Benjamin Mendy scored his first goal for the club at the weekend. He started the last two matches. How happy are you to have him back, and how much of a challenge now is it for him to keep fit and keep that place in the team?
It's so important for us. He is fit, but the score goals from Benjamin Mendy is the last thing I want from him. What I want is defend well and be fit and be focused. This is what I want, and everyone's one from Benji. But the first start is we play at 290 minutes and play quite well. But still is we have to wait. With Benjamin, we have to wait. It depends on him. It's the same, quite similar on John. It depends on him, not depend of the manager or the other ones. If he can maintain regularity, training day by day, and his focus, and in the last thing, they can score one goal, it's okay. But it's the only thing I want from him.
And in terms of him, obviously João's played very well at left back, but he's right-footed. How much of an impact does it have that you have a left-footed left back available in your team?
João make an incredible impact this season, and especially many things. His commitment, and he's in much focus in all we want to do. Still, he has to work on this and be concentrated during 90 minutes. But he helped us a lot because Alex was injured and Benjamin was injured. Ake, Nathan was injured. And he played there well regularly. His physicality is outstanding. His recovery after the games is immediately. He's a young guy with a incredible, in his body is so interesting. I didn't expect it, and I know in the final third the quality is something unique because it look like can be like a winger in the final third, or because skills for this. It's just a little bit like Mendy. They just focus in defense. And in their position, exactly what you have to do. We're working on it since he came in, and I have the feeling that this is getting better. Even his confidence is rise a lot comparing from the first month we're here, like he was a little bit distracted.
Jamie Jackson, please, guys.
Hi, Pep. Your really successful City teams have often gone on long runs, long unbeaten runs, with lots of wins. I know it's difficult this season. It's a very strange season, but do you feel your team can do this, should do this? Do you think maybe you could, sort of just start winning, not being beaten, and that builds momentum? Could be the difference.
I would love to answer you, but I cannot answer you because if you would ask me this question before making 18 games in a row winning or 17 or whatever, I could say the same answer. I don't know. I'm not thinking. I know that to be on top in this league this season, you have to be able to make runs to victories. But I know how everyone struggle. So everyone has momentums, and the other ones better than the other ones. But it's difficult because you had the feeling that no matter which team are going to face, how difficult will be this season more than ever, for many reasons. We know that to arrive This is the idea, the last 7-10 games in the Premier League being there, close to the top of the league. We need to make, in the next 5, 6, 7 games, make a lot of victories. We knew it. We know it. We will see. We won the last one after one draw defeat. And now we go into the competition when we did really well. We are there. We are incredibly happy in that terms, because in these weeks, in this first month, you can be out of the Champions League. Instead of that, we are there. And after focus when come back, Fulham, United, and all the games that we have in the Premier League.
What do you think of your players' mentality at the moment? Are you pleased with their mental approach, toughness?
Yeah. I had the feeling they are focused. Yeah, we are. We are good. Even the games against Liverpool and Tottenham, tough they are. We compete good, and for me, for details, especially for up front, we were not good enough, and defensively we make mistakes. We cannot do it. We didn't win, or we didn't draw. So, but in general, we create enough chances considering how tough they are. We concede not much. That's good, and work on it.
Rob Wilson, please, guys.
Hi, Pep. The first game against Porto was quite an aggressive game, lots of bookings and yellow cards. Are you expecting the same again? And is that something you have to be wary of with suspensions sort of moving forward?
Yeah, will be a tough physical game for sure. For sure. Was here. I saw the game against Marseille again. It's a team having incredible team spirit. They fight for each other. The incredible backwards. Physicality is outstanding. And yeah, it will be tough. We know it, but it's normal. It's Champions League away. We know it, and especially the quality of the Porto players they have. So it's with Benfica, the top teams in Portugal, and they use, and it's like same Olympiacos. These two teams, they have to win every weekend. And when you have this mentality in a club, not just in the players, in all departments, that made them so dangerous. So that's why we expect, like I expect, when they came here to play against us, the difficult game should be. It was, and tomorrow will be.
Last one, English guys. Dave McDonald, please.
Hi, Pep. Just following on from Rob's question there. Sergio Conceição was pretty critical of you and your staff after the first game, saying that you pressurised the referee and your conduct on the touchline. Did that surprise you? And was that maybe an overreaction on his part, given the touchline is always a pressurised, competitive place, in the heat of battle?
I'm not agree. So I can say maybe it's his opinion, but I'm not agree for the fact we pressure the referees. It's not the way we, and the history speaks for ourselves. So we are not of this type of team to do this, honestly. I would admit it. So one thing is when it's an action that we are not agree, you can make any comment with a system, but one specific action, but it's not a part of who we are. And honestly, the 5 years we are here together, and the people in Germany and Spain can know completely that it speaks for itself, our behaviors. But I'm not here to say, I'm not agree. It's not true.
We'll go to Alpha Esparto, please, guys.
Yes, Pep, can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly.
All right. So you have now more than 12 years working as a coach, a lot of experiences. But today, with the pressure to do better in Champions League, fighting against the best teams in Premier League, and especially with the pandemic situation, is it possible to say that this season is the most challenging season of your career?
In our careers, not my career, specific for my older managers. So, but the society lives in different way. You are not we are not together doing right now the press conference here in Manchester or maybe in Porto. So in Portugal. So it's unusual. And you have to adapt. It's not about Manchester City or my case as a person, every manager. So players when finished, they cannot go to the restaurants, go home here games here home. So that's why it's a situation. That's why the best thing is in this season, what we are learning is no stress match in the good results, in the bad results. So be stable, because this is a long marathon and everything can happen, and do our best. Try to avoid as much as possible being together. So days off when it's possible, no concentration in the hotels, and stay at home with the families, eat as good as possible, rest as much as possible, training as accuracy as possible, not much, not less, precise what we have to do, and arrive in the games with the mental mind as open as possible. It's only, I think, what we have to do this season, because not just in the world football, not just with us, every person in his job is completely different, is new. You are not an exception.
Joao Nunes, please, guys. Are you there as well? Can you hear us okay? Okay, we'll try Pedro Denise. Pedro, are you there?
Yes. Olá, Pep.
Hi, Pedro.
Pedro Diniz, bola na rede.
Pedro Diniz. May I ask the question in Portuguese? Are you able to understand me?
Yeah,
You can hear the translation.
I tried.
I will try. But
No, the
we know
problem is
that
I
you
don't
studied
listen.
Porto. We know that you
Okay.
studied Porto. Pode
Tell
continuar.
me. Yeah, go ahead.
Portanto, eu gostava de lhe perguntar que sistema tático é que acha que o Futebol Clube do Porto vai apresentar amanhã, e se quiser adivinhar, qual será o 11 do Futebol Clube do Porto amanhã? É capaz de nos dizer?
We know that you've studied Porto like you study all other teams. So the question I'd like to ask you is, what tactical setup do you expect from FC Porto tomorrow? And also, can you speculate about what starting 11 Porto may present tomorrow in the game?
It doesn't matter they play 4 in the back as usual. They do, or they play with 5 in the back like they did it here. I think the way they play, the commitment, the aggressivity without the ball, the transitions, the how good they work in the set pieces, the variations that they have, and the commitment defensively when we break the lines, how tough they defend, how they are able to fight each other in the same time. They shout each other, but in a good terms. So we lived that experience here. That's why it was a huge victory for us. And this is not going to change. We know that it will be like this. It doesn't matter the shape of the formation or the players are going to play. It's part of the ADN, I think, in this club since long time ago, and it's part of his culture, and we have to adapt. And of course, we try to impose our game to get the result we need to finish first in the qualification for the knockout stage in February.
Finish with Lola Hernandez, if you can hear us, Lola.
Hola, Pep, ¿me oyes?
Sí, perfectamente.
Bueno, se me ha permitido preguntar español, lo cual agradezco muchísimo al Manchester. Has contestado en inglés, se han preguntado sobre Raúl Jiménez.
You've answered in English about Raúl Jiménez and Fox Sport Latin America. You can imagine we're very worried about the Mexican international.
I should answer in English or in Spanish?
En español, por favor, si es posible.
Please answer in Spanish if possible.
Ya, estaba viendo el partido, la acción fue...
I was watching the game.
Fue realmente impactante.
A very impactful.
Agradezco a Sky de que no repita la imagen. Desearle a Raúl Jiménez todo lo mejor, que la operación ha ido bien, que no sea nada grave. Siempre asusta y mucho, tanto con David Luiz, el impacto en la cabeza, siempre sabemos lo peligroso y lo grande que es. Desearle una muy buena recuperación con su familia, con la familia del Wolfsburg, México, todo lo mejor. Si necesitan cualquier cosa del Manchester City, aquí estamos, y ojalá pronto pueda hacer vida normal y volver a los campos de fútbol y seguir demostrando el por qué es uno de los mejores delanteros en la actualidad en el mundo, en la Premier League. Y eso, desearle que vaya todo bien, tanto a él como a David.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We'll start with Tim Thornton, please.
Tim Thornton first, please.
Hello.
Hola.
5 goals against Burnley on Saturday in a really impressive performance. Is that a result that's been coming this season? And how important is it that you take that intensity into this game against Porto and build on that?
Bom, foi bom jogo de todo o time.
It was a good game from the whole team. We totally neutralised the Burnley team. We scored 5 and had a lot of chances to score more. I hope we can go in with the same mindset against Porto. We know it's going to be a very difficult game. So I hope we can achieve the same momentum and impose ourselves against Porto to get the win.
Any more, Tim?
Defensively, do you feel as though you're improving as a team this season? And how important has Ruben Diaz been to that?
Bom, eu acho que nossa defesa agora tá com mais constância.
I think our defense is more consistent now. We're developing little by little. It doesn't happen from one day to another. It requires time. We've got new players, less injuries than last season. We know that when 1 or 2 centre-backs get injured and you need to play with Fernandinho there, it's more difficult. Now we're playing with first-choice centre-backs. It makes it easier and it makes the defence more solid. Jerome Smith.
Hi. A lot is often said that you are the perfect goalkeeper for Pep Guardiola. I wondered if you felt the same about him as your manager. He's someone who sees your best attributes, and what you thought of him signing a contract extension.
Bom, me sinto que eu evolui muito.
I feel that I've developed a lot since I arrived here at the club, particularly training under Pep Guardiola. He's a coach that gets the best out of the quality out of his players. So my style influences the team. I'm a player that's really looked for in the game when we're under pressure. And that's a lot of responsibility. You know, if you make an error, it could end up in a goal. But I'm ready for all types of scenarios. When it goes right, okay. When it goes wrong, you need to be strong mentally, know how to deal with that. These are things, life things, and that's what goalkeepers are exposed to. I hope I can continue working here at City and continually getting better. Simon Basowski, please.
Hi, Ederson. How has Zach Steffen settled into the squad working with you, and what is it like having new competition for your place?
Bom, o Zach é ótimo goleiro.
Zach's a great goalkeeper. He's someone that works very hard every day. And his settling in the team was very easy. The whole squad made him feel really welcome. We're a young squad. We're always talking. Me, Zach, and Scott mainly. We're always together every day. There are goalkeepers that I learn a lot with them. I've learned a lot of new things from them, and they've contributed to my development. Mr. McDonald, please. David McDonald.
Hi, you'll be aware of the injury suffered by Raul Jimenez yesterday, a fractured skull. I just wondered, as someone who's had a head injury themselves, obviously in that incident with Sadio Mane a few seasons back, how concerned are you about the prevalence of head injuries, and what more needs to be done to protect players? Possibly, you know, substitutes for concussion, that kind of thing. Can we just get your perspective and your view on that kind of situation?
Claro.
Of course. I was very worried. I was watching the game, and I played with Raul Jimenez at Benfica. It was a accidental clash, you know, head to head. Very difficult. I think all the concern and all the care at this moment is very important. It's a part of the body that's very fragile and needs special attention. I agree, when there is a blow to the head, there should be a substitution, whether the player can continue or not. Because with you might be feeling okay because you warmed up, but after the game you could feel the consequences. It's something we can't change. It's accidental, it happens in the games. It wasn't an intentional blow. They just went to compete for the ball. But we know the risks of a head injury. I hope he recovers quickly and will be back as soon as possible. Martin Botland, please.
Oh, hi, Ederson. Pep said last week that he thinks that the team are going to do something special in the Champions League this year, and that maybe there will be a response to the way they went out in Portugal last year. Is that something that the players are feeling as well?
Eu não entendi o começo da pergunta. Assim, claro,
Yeah,
claro.
of course. That's what the team are working towards. I think the most important thing is hard work. The team are united, dedicated. We're playing well. We're developing. Last game we played really well. And I hope we can continue this good work. Definitely our team can go far. Andy Hampson, please.
Yeah. Hi, Ederson. Yeah, I was just wondering what your thoughts are following the Burnley game, and you talk about maintaining momentum. How do you go about doing that, and particularly with scoring goals? How does the team approach that?
Bom, é sempre importante você marcar gols na partida.
It's always important to score goals in the game. Of course, we're not going to score 4 or 5 goals every game, but playing well, 1-0, 2-0, that is satisfactory, especially in Champions League games. They're very difficult games, given the quality of the teams. A lot of quality in the Champions League. So I hope we can build upon the good football, not just the amount of goals that we scored in the last game, but the quality. Perguntas em português antes de terminar.
Olá, Ederson, tá me ouvindo bem?
Hi, Ederson, can you hear me okay?
Boa.
Yes.
Vamos lá.
Let's go.
Cara, a semana passada, o presidente do Rio Ave aqui em Portugal.
Last week, the Rio Ave president gave an interview to Channel 11 and said he signed you from Ribeirão because you hit the crossbar from a free kick. Last time I chatted to you, we spoke about this, about your desire to train, to take penalties and take free kicks. I want to know if this is still an ambition in your career. I know you've spoken to Pep Guardiola about this, about taking penalties, and he said you're one of the best penalty takers in the squad. Do you still maintain ambitions in your career to have this desire to take free kicks and penalties, and are you training for it? No, I don't train much free kicks. I train penalties. But when I played for Ribeirão, I took some free kicks. Well, that's in the past now. Our team have some very good free kick takers. Penalties, I am the best penalty taker, but I'm not chosen to take them. The most important thing is that the team are doing well, that we score goals and win the game. André Gonçalves, por favor. André Gonçalves from Record TV. How are you? I've got two questions. First is, how special is this game against Porto in the Dragão Stadium, the biggest rival of Benfica, who you used to play for, and somewhere you've never won? And your perspective on this game. The other question is your past in Portugal with Benfica and Rio Ave. What are your opinions on the Portuguese league this season? How do you see Rio Ave been playing? It's not going to be a special game. It's going to be a normal game for me against another opponent. It would be special if it was against Benfica, the club where I came through. That would be special. It's going to be a very difficult game. I know what it's like to play at the Dragão Stadium. I've had the opportunity to play there. I also know the Porto team very well. I know how they play. Of course, without the fans, it'll be more difficult for both teams. Portugal, Rio Ave, Benfica, they're two clubs that I'm very grateful to, together with Ribeirão as well. They're the clubs that brought me into football, that welcomed me. Clubs where I could develop professionally and as a person as well. I made a lot of friends, and I'm still friends with these people until today. Yeah, I do watch Portuguese football a lot, especially Benfica and Rio Ave. They're the two clubs that I support. And whenever they play, I'm supporting them. And I hope they can have a great championship this season. Pedro Diniz, finally. Good afternoon, Ederson. Pedro Diniz, ball on ahead. Marquez is going to be in the other goal next season. And I'd like to know your opinion about the Argentinian goalkeeper for FC Porto. I've watched a few Porto games, and I've seen that he's a great goalkeeper. He had a good game against us as well. I know his quality. I know he's a great goalkeeper. And he's experienced as well. He brings a lot of good things to the Porto squad. He's a South American goalkeeper as well. I know about the quality of South American goalkeepers. So I hope he can continue doing the good work and in tomorrow's game as well.